So, Paul, you spoke about the need to listen to other people's stories and to ask people the question, how do you practice forgiveness? And that there's great power in hearing the role of forgiveness in other people's lives. What might that look like in a youth group setting?
Well, number one, you can learn from the people in the youth group what their experience is with forgiveness, but I think it's even more powerful outside a youth group. For instance, when you meet new people, when you're having heart-to-heart conversations, especially people from other cultures. You know, in America, it's like we don't have like a rule book on forgiveness. We don't have a real thick tradition of being forgiving people. We don't have like rituals that we can lean into. And so as I've talked with people from other cultures, I see rich reservoirs of ways to practice forgiveness. I was talking with a South African, and he was telling me about, in his community, if you wanted to, let's say I offend an elder, or he offends an elder, he would lay down flat on the floor, and someone else would ask for forgiveness on his behalf, would say that, admit to the wrong. And so this role of community, the role of humility, it's on full display as I'm listening to this guy's story and how his culture practices forgiveness. It enriches my practice of forgiveness because I realize, okay, humility is a part of it. I may not lie down on the ground, but it's a part of it. And my community is a part of it. Sometimes I also think in the United States we're so individualized. We have individualized forgiveness. And so I like that story because it breaks down some of those walls. We realize that, truly when someone is wronged, it just doesn't impact that person. It impacts their community. And so forgiveness, too, should be felt on the community level.